Now that we rolling on, let me know when you guys are ready.
Ready.
When you are.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Let's do this. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today or year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. You best believe it. We doing our thing on screen. We talking about some TV, and the TV we talking about is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're getting in a power broker, and I'm joined by two awesome gentlemen. We might have someone else coming in late in the game, but right here, you know him and you love him. This man has done so much. I can't even start to tell you. 3 Purple Hearts, 2 Medals of Honor. All right, just Time Man of the Year, 4 times over. Grammy Award winning Clement Bryant.
See, you got to stop lying to the people. Okay, sooner or later, I'm gonna have to apply for a job, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, is this all true about you?" I'm like, "No, they ain't true about me."
They'll be like, "Don't you have some Grammys?"
No, I have pomegranate juice, and that's all I have right now. Okay, so stop lying to the people. Anyways, what's good, y'all? Falcon and Winter Soldier time. About to get into it. Let's do it.
All right, down in the bottom square, we have Cinematic Sorcerer, Solar Gray. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, seriously, you got to stop lying to the people about this, man. It's 4 Purple Hearts, all right? 4.
See, I just met you, and you already get it all in the lie.
See, because people know the deal.
What? I've been watching the show. No, seriously, how you guys doing? It's Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I'm coming at you from the Wizard's Tower.
Yeah. So, this episode gave us a lot to deal with. I guess I'll start off with the phrase of "We told you it would be like this." I'll just say that we told you, aka when we were yelling at the screen and you were going to get, you were going to get your boy Zemo. We were like, it's not going to work out like you think. But Clement, how you feel about this episode?
No, I love this episode. Like, straight up, like, I was tired AF when I started this episode because it's been a long week. I don't know if it's just me. It's been a long.
You right.
So I got into this episode, and like by then I was like awake, and like I was going, and I really enjoyed what they did with this episode.
Word. And Solar?
Man. Now, I'm gonna get this out the way now. All right. I'm a DC guy primarily.
Okay.
And this writing reminds me of all the best stuff that DC had in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I think about this episode? I got 2 things to say. One, yeah. Because comics comes to mind at first when it comes to, hey, let's do a harebrained scheme that totally won't bite us in the ass later. And second, yeah, that's all I gotta say. I loved this episode. This show has been triggering.
Zemo was vibing to the beat, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, if you don't get your, but you know what, Zemo, he been locked up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta vibe to the beat a little bit. But shout out to the chat, Antoine Allen, E in the house, Jenna James. Nice to see all y'all. Good to have you in the spot. So with that said, we open up, we know we're going to get Zemo. We gotta get Zemo, right? But they start having the story laid out. And you got your boy Winter Soldier tell him, like, all right, look, here's my plan. As if he had not already done it.
Oh, well, see, let me just shoot you a hypothetical. All right, let's just say if I did do something.
And then he's like, all right, cool, let me hear your plan. Then all of a sudden, I was like, he's already did this, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, somebody read The Watchmen. I'm sorry.
I was like,
Because
he's
literally,
already done this.
like-
It felt like a little bit of a heist movie when he was talking about that plan.
Yeah.
That plan. But like the difference from the heist movie is you don't see it actually happening as he's doing it. It's just like, hey, I've already done it. And so like Sam's response when Zemo walks in is like totally legit, because I would go a further step and be like, are you out your effing mind? Like this man, let's get this straight. This man was responsible for Thanos killing half the world.
Yes,
Let's be honest.
He's kind of he's the reason we were separated. If we weren't separated, we may have been able to turn Thanos back. But no.
Like, are you out your mind? So yeah, I thought it was that little bit of humor that the show's been missing for the last couple episodes.
Okay.
We've had bits and pieces, but that whole thing, I think we've got more humor with Zemo. Because as serious as the villain as he is, he does bring a lot of humor with him.
What does it say that
interesting character?
Yeah, what does it say that like a maniacal tyrant from an Eastern European country would be the one to bring in the levity that was needed on this show?
Right.
Because I will say, like, the heist movie thing, I'm right there with you, man. It was very Ocean's 12.
Yeah.
And I was just like waiting for the groovy bass line, do 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 do, kind of thing happening. But it's this whole show in total has been really well written, and I think they're I think what these writers are doing they're front loading their A game because they only got 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's get in here and do this. Like, we ain't gonna make the Iron Fist mistake, y'all. We're getting in there. We're telling our story. We're getting out.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the one thing, it's like I see a lot of people talking about how the show is missing on points like the racism, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? This is the next national projection, especially in the Cap storyline. So it's like, how are they missing?
Yeah, and I'm guessing these people talking are wanting the whole show to be just about, just about the race thing. Because I'm telling you, I'm one of those people out there.
It comes up every episode.
Every episode in multiple ways.
Yeah,
like
Zemo does drop knowledge twice. Well, he doesn't really drop knowledge because hold up, I don't want all you viewers that ain't thinking y'all super woke and deep because y'all gonna quote Zemo's two pieces from this episode. You still ain't done the work. You still ain't that deep. But the things he said, especially about being well dressed and fashion forward, is because it's not. He hit you with one of those joints. He was like,
you were almost expecting that star with the rainbow to come across. Like, the more
like,
you know,
they made you believe.
Facts.
Yeah, and all the people that are out there woke, I'm like, name 3 songs off Trouble Man. Just 3.
But it's I was like, it's an awesome album. It's
from Best Buy.
It's top quality.
Yeah.
So the conversations that they have between each other and the interactions they have in this episode kind of made me want to have a longer episode.
Yeah.
Because even though I enjoyed this episode, I do think that we flew through this one. We globetrotted, which I like. We went around, but we flew through this episode. I would have loved to have maybe another 15 minutes or something, to kind of like give us a little breathing room. But the thing that I like about shows like this is it gives us an opportunity to get similar to what they did with the Star Wars lore in Mandalorian, is we get a temperature of what other people feel in the universe. Meaning, like, usually it's the MCU. All we know is how Thor feels, how Iron Man feels, how Cap feels, how Bruce feels, how, Black Widow, Hawkeye, whoever, right? But now we got Sharon up in here, and I love how Sharon's like, you love that Star Stripes stuff. You love it.
Dude,
like,
Sharon
stop
Carter,
fronting.
Like Sharon Carter in this episode, like literally, I was thinking like no other character would clock the attitude change. And when Bucky says she's kind of worse now, it's kind of like, yeah, she's completely different than any kind of type of like Sharon in the comics is. Like Sharon in the comics is a badass, but the attitude isn't there. Whereas this Sharon, this iteration of Sharon is brutal.
Well, in all fairness, they did her dirty.
True.
I mean, we are talking 7 movies and 5 years of the blip where they were like, oh man, they helped us save the world and save Bucky and all that stuff. And you know, even during Endgame, I was like, where's Sharon?
Right.
You know, every time I see Nick Fury, I'm like, all right, cool. There's Kobe Smulders, heart. But where's Sharon?
Right.
You know, and
Sharon
we found out. And we like,
and I'll throw this to y'all since we're on her real quick, and then I got something I want to bring up from Ghost MKC, but
got you.
She's like, okay, I'm on the run, and she's like mad about it. She definitely has her standpoint. It's like, because from us, we're thinking, oh, you know what I'm saying, all's well that ends well. But she's still on the run. But at the end, the woman that she meets up with definitely gives a CIA vibe.
Yeah.
She definitely. So I'm like, are you just undercover? Like, are you like deep?
We
deep,
talking like Lawrence
undercover?
Fishburne in '96 deep cover, you know?
And deep undercover. You know, so it's like, because I'm thinking, you look like you're not, you know, on the run because you got this random person coming up to you. They definitely have a CIA vibe, but you know, we'll see because we remember after Winter Soldier, she went into the CIA, right?
She just went away.
She just went away.
I mean, she stole that stuff and she's like, poof, smoke bomb.
Who joined the CIA then? Was it Kobe? I mean, was it Maria Hill? Because remember at the end of Winter Soldier, they showed people kind of moving on with their lives because Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. was gone. And I kind of swore Sharon was in CIA, but maybe wrong. Maybe it was Maria. Somebody in the chat will let us know.
I think she was in CIA in Civil War, and chat will correct me if I'm wrong. But like, I think she was in the CIA, but like post at end of Civil War, I think she's just straight up like was like on the run. Like, so like as far as Sharon's that whole person, I think there's 4 possibilities. Either she's working for Fury. Fury's calling the shots while he's up in space.
All right.
Scenario 1. Scenario 2, she works as the power broker.
All right.
Scenario 3, she is the power broker. Or scenario 4 is that it's Ross.
Well, you're forgetting option 5.
Nope.
Mephisto.
Ghost MKC comes through and says, one of my favorite parts of this ep was exposing the intricacies within the perspective of African diaspora on ourselves, specifically comparing USA to worldly viewpoints. So yeah, because when they were walking into Madripoor, he's like, hey, why am I the only one dressed like a pimp? And he's like, only an American would think that a well-dressed, fashion-forward black man was a pimp. And it was kind of like, yeah, like anyone, because like I ain't gonna front. When I first saw him, I was like, yo, that's kind of a smooth suit. Yeah, and then when he said something about the pimp, I was like, oh, excuse me, never mind. I was like,
the lines were good, the cut was good, them textiles were on fire. I'm not down with the heels, but then I am 6'4". But yeah, no, seriously, that was something that was brought up in Black Panther too. You know, in the casino scene where Chadwick Boseman walks in with a Nehru jacket, you know, but everything about him said bow down. But we here in America is like, oh, look at that. And it comes with the stigma that comes with our hue.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and people just talking about the jet scene being funny. Zia's asked, what about Everett Ross? Yes, Martin Freeman's character from Civil War and Black Panther definitely feels like he needs to be a part of this whole Zemo, Wakanda, Bucky equation.
It's interesting. I didn't think about Ross.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't want to overload it, but we did get something that many people have been asking about all since WandaVision. Now we finally got some entry of Wakanda. You know, forgive me, but she showed up. She was like, heard you got something that belong to us. Heard you got something.
See, and that's the
heard, I heard you picked up something for us, right? Because we
Yeah.
let you stay in the TP and get your mind right. You got all that stuff out your head, so you owe us.
Yeah, it was, you know,
You
if she
owe
wasn't so
us.
serious, she could have totally played off on that White Wolf thing, like, who's a good boy? Now give us your Nemo, you know. But you know, but yeah, I mean that was it when I was watching it, because I do the midnight screening since I work so late. So I'm like, oh look, it's 12:01. I guess I know what I'm going to be doing on my Friday morning type of thing.
Time to watch the show.
Yeah, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, nah. Now I know them beads, but well, I mentioned them in the last episode, but yeah, but how are they gonna do this? It's 5 years since the blip, and I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, they're still, because I was actually wondering, primarily because in Civil War, Chala stopped Zemo from starting a 45. And then Zemo ends up in this prison cell in this. So, I mean, I'm sitting up going like, what happened?
I think he left him to the Avengers, didn't he?
I don't remember. And I don't like Joss Whedon enough to try watching it again.
I'm not.
Bad. It's a Russo brothers. I might watch it again.
It's a Russo.
But yeah, so I seriously gotta check it out again, because I'm like, you know, he should be in one of those things that we didn't see in Black Panther. Like, he should be under the vibranium mound, you know. But where's he at?
I think at the end of Civil War, you see Everett Ross in the same prison that Bucky was in, like where they all were, and then that's like the last thing you see from him. So it doesn't really go farther than that. So I think maybe that's like the start of interrogation of being like, yo, what the F were you up to trying to split the Avengers? And he's like, I pretty much succeeded. So like, I think that's where it was. But the whole thing, just like when we got to the end, I didn't realize how badly I was missing a little of the Wakandan flavor in the MCU. I didn't realize it until I saw, I was like, wait, was that a Kimoyo bead? And my girlfriend was like, no, you crazy. I was like, no, don't tell me I'm crazy. Because I know what a Kimoyo bead looked like. So I'm crazy.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're crazy. And I'm like, there's a Kimoyo bead. And then there's another one. And there's another one.
Yeah, you're like running to your jewelry drawer going, wait a minute.
Wait, what?
I know what this looks. Look.
I'm like, yes, that's what I want. So like,
Homegirl came out of nowhere too.
Out of nowhere. And like, I love how like they kept that so close to the vest.
Yes.
And they didn't say anything about Wakanda being a part of this.
At all. The only mention we got was in the previous episode where he's like, oh, you go to Wakanda for a little while and come back to White Panther. He's like, White Wolf. What? Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
But I did that because in WandaVision we had talked about, and I can't remember if Clement was on, but I remember we talked about like, hey, hold up. So you got all this vibranium. Now think about this. This is post Vision. Vision's dead. He's gone. So we gonna let you have all this vibranium? I feel like somebody would come to collect.
Yeah.
I feel like the embassy would show up. It would, you know what I'm saying? It would show up. It'd be like, it would be, you know, I don't know, man, a Okoye and some be like, look, we are here to reclaim our package. Now you can give it to us, but we can take it back.
Well, yeah, because remember, Vision was made out of stolen materials.
Yeah, sure was.
So Wakanda would be like, all right, yeah. So it's like, I know he helped save the world, but he dead now. So pay what you owe. You know,
like, because you shouldn't have it no way. But before, because I did want to get over to the WAC team. You know, I did want to get over to the WAC team. Before we get to the WAC team, though, I like how they slid in the Baron stuff. I like how they slid in the suit.
Bro.
I like how they did it in a way where it wasn't cheesy.
Oh, can we talk about Zemo for a minute? Like, yeah, can we talk about Zemo for a minute, or are we gonna do that later?
No, we can do it now. But they did it in a way where it wasn't corny. wasn't cheesy. They were like, "Hey, you got a private jet." He was like, "Well, I was rich. You destroyed my country."
Yeah, I
But
was
I'm rich.
royalty. You know,
I was royalty. Y'all destroyed my country, and I would have actually checked him on that. I would have been like, "Ultron destroyed your country.
yeah.
I didn't do anything. I was at a family barbecue." And,
And Bucky was like, "Look, man, I was asleep. I don't know what happened."
and then
No.
I stopped to tie my shoes, and I looked up, and y'all was gone.
Yeah. Now, the Baron in this one, like, you know, growing up reading comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like Baron Zemo, but I didn't until like 98 when the Thunderbolts came out.
Right.
Okay.
But before then, I thought he was a mustache twirling, over the top. Like, the hardest thing with Cap villains is it's Cap. So let's put him against Nazis. Every flavor of Nazis you got. You got your red Nazi, you got your purple Nazi, you got your American flag wearing Nazi and Nuke. You got, you know, and now we got, you know, the purple Nazi part 2, you know. But in this one, where it's like, all right, how we getting around? And it was real subtle because he was globetrotting in Civil War. And nobody actually asked to stop to think about it, because let's face it, we were all there for the airport fight,
Yeah,
and to watch Tony Stark get jumped into the Dark Avengers. So you know, that's that. Tell me you weren't there to see that. But with him coming out going, "No, I'm a Baron. I'm royalty. This is my car collection. This is my jet." You know, and yeah, I got ties to the underworld. And
homie
it's like,
does
but your
need
country
to
was crap.
upgrade
you know?
his assistant staff though, because I feel like old boy is gonna pull something, trying to like bend down and get something out of the cupboard or something. I feel like he's gonna bend down to get like a bottle of wine, and like his back is gonna drop out. Like, sir. Like, oh, hold up, my boy.
Look,
back fell out
Aunt
again.
May has been dying of the same disease for the past 60 years. Alfred is, I think Alfred's original name was Lazarus, because that's how long he'd been around. So let the rich comic characters have their old dudes. You know, not everybody's got to be Woodhouse from Archer. You know.
Well done. Nice reference.
Nice
Thank you.
one. Nice one.
Yeah. So I mean, seriously though, but when the firefight broke out in the episode,
yes,
and he put on his mask, all I could hear was just I'm like, when did I start watching Batman Begins? I thought I was watching Falcon and Winter Soldier.
He was like masked up, gloved up. I ain't gonna front. The coat is still kind of smooth though.
I'd rock it.
The coat is still kind of smooth. Like, I know he's a bad guy, but the coat is all right.
You can't be a bad guy and not have style. Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you royalty.
Yeah, you can't be rich and bummy. Like, you gotta have one or the other.
I mean, I just like when Sam goes, "You rich?" She's like, "What did you expect? I'm a baron." And I'm like, he's just so cocky. It's like, of course I'm rich. Whatever.
Of course I'm rich.
Like,
well,
rich.
It's definitely one of those of, you're supposed to be good at your job. Like, don't you know? You just broke me out of prison. Didn't you read one dossier?
Right.
You an Avenger. Don't y'all keep notes?
I guess maybe they saw he was a baron and was just like, whatever. It's like, no, it's like, dude probably got super duper old money.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Like,
He's got that super generational, like, yeah, our land turned into a meteor and got blown up by robots, but we had it for a while. We got a little something tucked away.
Yeah.
You know.
Antoine Allen said, "Oh boy, dipped out when he started shooting, but returned." Yeah, I was, man, look. I thought, on the real, I thought he was gonna be out. Even though he did bounce, but he came through with the whip though. Now I'd have been like, hold up, so you left the firefight. You left me in a firefight to go get the car? Like,
They needed the car.
You left us.
Now, he was with superheroes, man. Like, is one thing if they were just some of the brothers from the convenience store, but these are people that have already saved the universe.
Cool.
So it's like, y'all got this for a minute. I took down your suppression fire, and now smoke bomb, poof. I mean, you're gonna be mad at that. You may as well be mad at Batman with every Justice League anything.
Man, I've been mad at Batman. Don't get me started with that.
Oh,
I'm about to get into Deceased and see what that's like, but I'm sure Batman's going to do something stupid in it. But
I'm just saying, Batman is very quick to be like, all right, y'all got superpowers, y'all got that thing, y'all take the front. I'll be around with the MVP move in like 15 minutes. Just look toward the North Gate at dawn on the third day. That's all Batman does, and that's what Zemo ended up doing.
Now, we got to, we don't want to, but we gotta talk about the whack team. So
B team.
not
God,
Captain
no.
America and not Falcon. We're in the scene of this episode on the trail of the Flag Smashers.
No. He's Dollar Tree American Soldier. He's like what you get from the Santee Alley.
It's like it's like
American
hi,
military
I brought
captain.
you Flavor Rose.
Exactly.
It's like, Mom, I wanted Fruit Loops.
As Chris Rock would say, you look on the front of the on his toy box, and it's just white box, black letters, soldier. You look on the back of the box.
Oh man, Antoine Allen said junior varsity. It's like they play, you know what I'm saying? They play the JV league, but they're on the trail of the Flag Smashers.
I do gotta say he is a very he's a competent character. It's just he's that dude that you take off the bench when you're already 30 points ahead in the fourth quarter. It'd be like, all right, you go play your game.
I do see that we're starting to see him get a little more aggressive now. We see, bit. And then, yeah.
Don't you know who he is, man?
Don't you know who I am? I'm like, no, ain't nobody know who you are. They know the name Steve Rogers, but they don't know John Walker.
Right. They don't know John Walker. They don't care about you. And then I like how old boy switched up. He said, I know who you are, and I don't care. I was like, oh, snap. Everybody should have been like, oh.
It's like, look, Johnny Walker, I'm a Jack Daniels man, all right? So I know exactly who you are.
Dude he's so whack. And his boy is whack. Like, all right, let's just get through this. All right, so he's getting more aggressive. Know that. But it does make me wonder how this whole serum thing is going to play out, because we got a lot of background knowledge into the serum as well. And
you talk about background knowledge to that serum, and my heart breaks a little more.
Yeah,
and y'all know why.
Yeah, because it's like, oh well, they had samples, and I had to go through all the samples. It's like, oh, you mean for when they were poking and prodding this black man that was in jail for no reason? But anyway, like, now all that's gone, seemingly, but the Flag Smashers are still alive, and you got old girl from the Han Solo flick, and now in Flag Smashers, like, she's like, oh well, I don't care. They just gonna have to come get it. It's like, I feel like you just signed your death warrant. Whenever somebody start acting a little too brolic, like, I feel like she's not going to make it out of this.
I honestly hope she does. I really do. As far as she goes, like, I think they're putting as much care into her as they did in a Killmonger, because she's fighting for the right reasons. I mean, one thing, the main thing I gotta say about this whole thing is with the brightness and the colors and the quips, but when you really look at it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe sucks. It sucks to be an Avenger. It sucks to be a bystander. It's like, what were your choices? Get caught up in the snap, or the blip, as they call it, or get stuck left behind going, all right, a plane fell on my head and I lost half of my family. And now, all right, well, I'm gonna go make a life for myself out of something. And then the Avengers save the day, bring everybody back. And just like Michael Keaton in Spider-Man Homecoming, you just out. You just like, oh yeah, well, that's nice, but everybody back, so you got to go. And it was like, sitting up. I really got where she was coming from on that, especially with the refugee scene. With for lack of a better term, her moms. You know,
Kevin Jones says, I think in general, being a superhero is not as fun as most people think. Yeah, because like in your mind, you're like, oh man, if I was a superhero, I'd be doing all kinds of cool stuff. No, this is what we're honest at. If let's say in real life, people had powers, you know what would happen? You would be Isaiah Bradley. At least if you look like me, you would be Isaiah Bradley. Anyone black, you'd be in some kind of microscope. They'd be taking blood. They'd be taking like bone marrow, skin samples, hair, you know what I'm saying, pulling your teeth out, trying to figure out how to, because what they want to do is figure out a way to weaponize this.
See,
and
in all honesty,
figure out a way to stop you, because if they mess around and it's like the comic series Black, where only black people have superpowers, man, nah. No. They're going to be like, nope, we got to get ahead of this.
See, you're thinking too small, bruh. Because, see, if we lived in a world where superpowers were real and I got superpowers or better ones than I got now, I'd be in Ethiopia. I wouldn't be in America because I wouldn't want to end up like Isaiah Bradley. You know, I'd be pulling up a straight up God, I just, oh man, I'm losing geek credit. Aurora Monroe. All right. I'd be straight up Storm. I would go somewhere. I would be laying low. I'd be like, hey, my people, I'm here to help.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, seriously. She control the weather. Hey, have some drought. If I had any of those powers, I'd be like, all right, cool. Who needs help outside of the United States? You know, I'd be in like Beta Flight or something.
So with her, I'm down with her. I just feel like she's not gonna make it because she's like, oh, what they gonna do? She's kind of grandstanding, and you see her getting a little more extreme than at least her boy is. Because when they blew up the building, old boy was like, yo, there was people in there. She was like, you gotta do what you gotta do, son. Like you, so she's ratcheting it up beyond the point of just giving supplies to people. It's, she's ratcheting it up where it's not going to be a situation where you can make the argument like, hey, we were on mercy missions. Now you're going to have to try to defend that you blew up X amount of people. You know,
that's my point with the Killmonger thing. It's right motivations, wrong methodology.
And I wonder if Carly dies, does John Walker hit up the power broker and get the serum? Because we know that it's not quite wrapped up with a pretty bow like how it is at the end of this episode. There's serum still out there. So like, what if John Walker, they kill off Carly, John Walker takes the serum and now becomes the leader of the Flag Smashers?
Well, I with the media savvy, or with the level of media savvy that everybody has today, I'm gonna call it right now. John's getting the serum.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it's little Flavor Flav is getting it, but you know, I don't know if Battlestar Galactica over there is getting it, but John is going to get the super soldier serum. They've already
like a broke comedian. Like I just...
exactly. Well, they set up everything for U.S. agent already.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's already there. They're showing like he's got a temper. He's got, and let's face it, his character is written very well in the sense of he was what Tommy Lee Jones was setting Captain America up to be in the first Avenger.
Yeah, that's kind of what Tommy Lee Jones wanted.
But he's not as good a man as Steve Rogers, and they're pointing that out in a whole lot of different ways. Like, you ever jump on a grenade? Yeah, but I had protective gear, and it was like you missed the whole point then.
Right. Exactly. Not Cap.
Yeah, exactly. You're not Steve.
Yeah, you're not even close. And I think
Ant-Man is closer.
Oh man. But I think when he gets it, it'll not only ruin the relationship that he has with Flavor Flav, but also ruin the relationships.
Man, you people calling this man Flavor Flav.
It's either that or Lil Jon, because all he does is sit in the back going, yeah, boy. Every time Bargain Bin American Soldier says something. Yeah,
He's a
that's
hype
it. That's
man.
all he
Like,
is.
He's oh man.
You know, and it's. I mean,
My best friend. Yeah,
Hmm?
man, you always right.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah,
That's all what it is.
you nailed it right there. He is the reason that John Walker can say he ain't racist. That's it.
Yo, word up.
Max, thank you.
You exactly right. Don't you see my African American right here?
Yeah,
It's like, did you just
that is
did
whack.
you just place ownership on African American?
Well, we also kind of says like John Walker kind of telegraphs that in like episode 2, where he's like, I want to be the Captain America, so I thought I should have Captain America's sidekick or some stuff like that. I'm like, no, pause. Like, that's not no.
Hats off to Anthony Mackie, man, because he ain't had one of them turns like in Blade when he was being cool and he looks, hey, you know, he has not had one of those you lost your goddamn mind moments. He's just been like, always that last sentence. What you mean I can't get a loan? Okay, all right.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, so I'm excited for the whole, because this episode, even though it moves fast, the whole idea of these different hands in the pot. We got John Walker and the JV team, and whatever they're doing, they're like 2 steps behind with the Flag Smashers. Also, John probably won that serum, and like someone said in the chat, he's definitely getting the juice. Then you got whoever Sharon's with, which I think is CIA. I don't think the CIA got rid of her. I think they pretended to get rid of her so she could be undercover doing her, Madripoor thing.
It's a mystery inside an enigma, inside an illusion. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Or the thing is, the CIA, she's stationed there, and the CIA is making her earn her stripes back to getting the country.
Yeah, cool. That's an option too. And
or Mephisto.
we got what is it? We got Wakanda involved, and trust me, if they don't give Zemo to Io or whatever, then I am pretty sure that she will not be the last person to come to retrieve him. I'm sure.
This is me praying for Denai Guerrera. I am praying for Denai Guerrera.
One of those things where she's like, look, I'm here, but trust me, if I leave, when I leave, the next person that comes, they ain't gonna be happy.
Come on, man, help me out. I don't want my supervisor showing up.
But also, like,
she bringing a rhino.
The next person besides the child that could show up is Okoye.
Yeah.
Like, if she show up,
it's a wrap.
She bringing a rhino.
No,
at least the way I see them is
that spear. She's gonna throw that spear and just hit him through the mask and just be like,
yeah. And the wig. She's bringing the wig, the rhino, the spear.
Bust him in the face with the wig, and then
like hey, y'all, Okoye. There you go, Okoye.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
So okay. So this is something that I really liked. The power brokers. Well, no, this isn't the power broker scene. This is the scene in the club or in the bar.
Yeah,
I did like the fist pumping. You know what I'm saying? Zemo, he been locked up. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been in there. Now I ain't going front. I gotta give it to him. He been locked up at least 5 years. The first thing he was doing was not trying to get some. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? He was able to stay on mission. All right. I'm just saying because he up in there. There's a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just bouncing around. You know what I'm saying? And
he's a baron. He's a baron. He can get that anytime that he ain't behind bars.
True. That's true. He ain't tripping on that.
He can straight up do the 50 Shades of Grey thing at any time.
Dude is probably still hung up on his wife. Let's be honest. He's already still hung up on his wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. He ain't getting out in the streets yet, getting his date on.
No, I think his fun was in just poking the 2 bears that were in his plane, going, "Hey, you can walk."
Seeing how he did that, but then also big shout out to Sebastian Stan with the whole like issue of pretending to be old Winter Soldier again. That was pretty dope.
It was really good to see him.
For a second, I was like, hold up. You gonna trip on us? Don't you trip on us? And I was like, why?
No, it was really good to see him in action against people without superpowers to give us that metric for how beyond he and Captain America actually are.
Right.
Because it's easy to remember that the just above street level heroes like Cap and King T'Challa and Bucky, like they're a little more up. Like there is regular hardcore soldier, like American military officer with shield, and
American man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna just keep trying to come up with these knockoff brand names. I'm just gonna let you know. And I mean, he's good. He's very good at what he does. He's got that whole Daredevil thing going, but Bucky is on another level.
Yeah.
And when people talked about the fact that he was the dude that Black Widow was afraid of, we didn't really see that in the 2 movies he was in. So to see him blow off that kind of steam in that bar, I'm like, oh, yeah.
And also, I think that was smartly played too, because I think this is the point you're making, Solar. It's like you always saw Bucky around the Avengers, around Steve, around T'Challa.
Aliens.
You never saw him by himself, so you're thinking like, okay, he's just a regular dude with the metal arm. And then you see him outside of that element, and it's like, oh no, this dude is super. They made the point in the first episode or the second episode where he jumped out the plane without the chute, and then he just got straight up. But then you see the fights, and you're like, oh wait, no, this dude is
like he is super. And I mean, he can't fly, and he ain't got that invulnerability thing, and not a big S on his chest. But the metal arm I wrote off as the whole vibranium thing when he's falling out of the airplane, and I'm like, okay, well, the arm must have took most of the whole thing, just like when Steve jumped out the building in Civil War and landed Shield first on the ground. I thought the vibranium was doing all the work, and then to see him put in his 8 hours, I'm like, okay, I want to see some more of that.
He told the Winter Soldier, he was like, look, go get him. And here's the thing though, when everybody pulled guns on him, I had the feeling that he could still take them too. Like I had the feeling that he could have disarmed a person, used somebody as a human shield, took out some more people. Like I feel like
you mean like Sharon Carter did?
Yeah. Like now, speaking of Sharon Carter, she kills it. Love her action sequences. Love her energy around the other heroes. But this is a knock on the MCU. And not a super knock on the MCU. I know you got to do what you got to do to stay under your rating. But she's literally hitting dudes with a pipe, and there's like no blood.
Oh, yeah.
She's busting dudes.
She killed at least 6 people.
Yo, definitely... if she didn't kill them, they have like cerebral palsy or something now. They're gone. They're a vegetable now. Like there were at least 3 guys that got hit in the face with a pipe, like full swing. Like she was swinging for the fences.
Yeah, and it really makes me rethink Shield because I still don't care about them. But man. Yeah, I've never been able to get into Shield. I want to real badly. The James Bond thing has never really been my taste. So, looking at the secret organization and the special gadgets and all that stuff, I'm like, I'm here for capes and spandex. You know what I mean? But
I'm here for capes and spandex.
Yeah, and given that their leader has some of the most presence in the entire entertainment industry, but he ain't exactly known for them fight scenes. So seeing their number 1 dude in Samuel L. Jackson, I'm like, okay, his superpower is his ability to say MFer all, in 100 different ways. It is like his version of Shazam, but I ain't really seen him punch nobody. You know what I mean? So
Well,
to
I mean,
see,
don't sleep on the Shaft movie. You know what I'm saying? He can bring that back. That Shaft movie was sweet. Like,
I ain't
look,
gonna lie, I'm right there.
Wait,
One thing, but one thing I'm wondering, and I'm not putting this out as a fan theory about Sharon Carter, is with this new timeline. I'm like, you know what? I watched Agent Carter. Peggy was amazing,
mhm.
and I'm like, if she raised Sharon, did Sharon grow up getting trained by Steve too?
oh, don't break my head now.
Because them
Oh,
moves
yeah.
kind of reminded me
Cause
of a couple of
now,
things.
cause now, yeah, because things
Ah,
are changed. We're actually living in we're living in like timeline 2, sort of.
I
Because timeline 1, Peggy lived without him. So kind of timeline 2, but I know it's your head's gonna start hurting.
don't.
So
Damn it, man! I wasn't
So-
trying to get. I was not trying to get right now. I was just
Sorry,
for a civil chat about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
sorry,
My head.
but you know all this stuff is related, okay?
I know, but I wasn't trying to think about it. Man, you just
I mean,
got.
I can't eat yogurt after WandaVision. Now, I just got to say
Okay.
that I can't eat yogurt.
It's like, no, I know.
Man.
Like, what about now?
So, but yeah,
Facts.
the chat's going off
so let me
about
holler at
Mr.
Zeus
Central
real quick.
America. Yeah,
Let me holler at Zeus real quick. Zeus says, "Is Walker not worthy though? He is a 3-time winner of the Medal of Valor and has been in the armed forces saving lives for years. The only reason we as an audience don't feel for him is because we have not spent years with him. The problem with some of the actions these characters have is I guess we are automatically made to feel for them because we know them, not because they are acting reasonably, and goes on and on. No, he's not worthy.
No,
They spent a lot of time in the first Avenger, in the Captain America movie, the very first one, talking about the type of man he needed to be.
right.
thank
So,
you. He
because
is
the
not a
serum
good
not
enough
only
man.
enhances your muscles, but it enhances your character, your dignity, your
Mhm.
restraint, your discipline, all that.
That's
So-
why the Red Skull. That's why Johann Schmidt became the Red Skull.
Yep.
You know.
Because he was evil. Right?
Right. But it's also his attitude. His attitude
Yeah.
is like, oh, I put in the work. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, it's not just about the work.
It's not
Yeah.
just the work.
No,
It's not like, yes, you can run a 440. Yes, you can jump this high. Yes, you can do 100 pull-ups or something.
You're even
That's
good with
not
the shield.
what Captain America is. Captain
No.
America isn't the muscles. It's
Captain America's the heart.
Captain America is the heart. He cares about people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
And
That's
he
what
cares
Captain
about
America
people enough to disobey the government to go save people.
because
Right,
he
like-
woke up and realized that the government was a sham and didn't know what to do.
And I think the other part of it is Steve is an expert strategist when it comes to like military, fighting, war strategy, everything. So that's what's missing from John Walker because John Walker is still 3 or 4 steps behind Zemo, Bucky, and Sam.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he's pretty much like a frat boy with the shield. That's what I call him. He's a frat boy.
Well, no, I wouldn't call him a frat boy because he's a better man than that. But he is a standard soldier.
Yeah, he's
You know.
your everyday soldier. He's like the dude that made the comment about Peggy Carter when they showed up in what is it I guess in the training or maybe a sort of training montage in the first Avenger. Like he's that kind of guy. He's
Oh,
jarhead dude. You know what I'm saying? Did good in the hood, but that's pretty much it. He's like, yo, I've done good military things,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not a good human being.
Well, I wouldn't even go that far. It's I think John Walker drank the Kool-Aid. I'm not saying he's a bad man. I'm saying he's a government man. And
Well, I'll say
Steve-
he's a bad man because the look at his face, if no one was there, when that man told him he didn't care that he was Captain America, I think he would have hit him with a little Homelander. That's all I'm
you
saying.
know what?
He would have hit him with a little Homelander.
Credit where credit is due. When they spit in his face,
Yep.
and they had to walk out, and Flavor Flav was
Flavor
like,
Flav.
we ain't gonna find nothing here. He didn't go back in there like, breaking fingers and cutting off
Yeah.
toes until they talked. It was like, all right, we ain't gonna find nothing here. I'm not doing all that stuff. So fine. But I'm not saying he's not a good man. I'm saying he's a government man. And Steve always put what's right above what was legal, what was allowed. Remember, he went out to save Bucky and the Howling Commandos by disobeying direct orders from his superior officer, SHIELD, and a senator.
Say it. And the fact that he gave his shield to a black man. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Let's just call it is. Like any other person, especially a white man with that power, wouldn't give that shield to a black person.
Yeah.
He was like, even though we know that Bucky in the comics had the mantle of Cap, he went around Bucky and was like, yo, Sam, you need to have the shield.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you talk about that, like, if John Walker was the Cap of, like, if Steve never existed, John wouldn't have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John
is not giving that shield to Flavor Flav. You can forget that.
No.
Oh, no.
He'd be like, thank you for your years of service. Here's a gold. Here's a Rolex.
Yeah.
Like,
I will go as far as to say, if it was John Walker in Civil War, when he found out that SHIELD got compromised by Hydra, he would just keep doing what he was being paid for.
Exactly.
When they brought out saying, you're gonna be the muscle to bring in these people with the Sokovia Act, he would have signed it and said, where do you need me to go, sir?
Yep.
And
I gotta. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have Cap come up in SHIELD. You know what I'm saying? He made that speech and got everybody to, rise up against Hydra. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Walker can't do that. You know what I'm
saying? That's not Walker's character. Not to say he's not a good man, but that's like saying anybody that can fly and have bullets bounce off him can be Superman. Okay?
Yeah.
Superman is Clark.
Now,
and Captain America is Steve.
There could be an argument made that the new serum, the guy said the new serum that he made, he had perfected it, but that we know of, that's all gone with the explosion, at least at this time. But that we know of, the new serum, you can be anyone. You ain't got to worry about extra bulky muscles and stuff. You just get the super strong strengthness. And
I call foul on that. Half the reason most people want the super soldier serum is to get that Chris Evans body.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to get cut up, bro. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Like,
just put me in the machine for a day.
Like, hey, cool.
Cool.
I don't got to take steroids and I don't got to break out an acne, but I get swollen without effects. Cool.
I don't got to go to the gym. I hate lifting weights. I got to
go to the gym. So you put me in this little pod and I come out looking mad sweet. Let's go.
Yeah, seriously.
But I come out, people just touching my chest. No. But with that said, how are we feeling about next episode? Are we excited? We hyped? We want to see some. You want to see some IO up in that joint? Want to continue, or want this just be it? You know what I'm saying? Don't see no more of her.
Here's my thing. I think this episode was good, and I hope this isn't. I hope like now that we're at the midway point of 6 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it is not like I'll say it, like, as much as I love WandaVision, the finale was a little like
lackluster.
Right? Mm-hmm. But I love,
and they blew it on their own. They blew it on their own.
No, I blame COVID for that one. I blame COVID for WandaVision.
Exactly. But like, it's also, I hope we got to the high point of the series, and that was just like boom all the way for the rest of the 3.
Yeah,
that's my only concern. But otherwise, I think so far they're really hitting every beat, and they're even going a little bit further.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we're gonna hit the apex of the writing in the next 2 episodes. The character study, the commentary about racism and how poorly we treat our vets, and how the world doesn't give a crap about the poor as much as they give a crap about procedure. I see all that happening. But the show is funded by Disney, so at the end
we're gonna touch on it, but we're not going deep. We're gonna
end. No, we ending on Falcon in the sky with diamonds and Walker, Walker in a fist fight with something, and some explosions and some awesomeness, and the stuff that keeps the major audience tuned in, and not just those of us who learned how to be heroes by reading comic books. So it's gonna have its stock standard Marvel ending, and I accept that. So
as long as it's dope, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, let's blow some stuff up, let's have a dope fight.
Yeah. If the character study is as good, if it remains as good as it has been for the next couple of episodes, take all my chips. I'm all in. I'm all in 100%. I don't know what this is leading into, because I know WandaVision was leading into Multiverse of Madness. I don't know what's up with where this is leading into, but I hope it's somewhere good. And we'll see where it happens. So I'm mostly hyped.
I wonder if it leads into Black Widow.
Black Widow is supposed to be a prequel.
But I wonder if there's like some sort of way of like, because Ross is in Black Widow, I've been like, I wonder, it's not leading into, but I wonder if like it dovetails with Black Widow.
That is a possibility.
That is a possibility. Movie that I'm still trying to figure out how to care about, but I'm like, I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
I'm sure the movie is well made. She's dead. And it's a movie that I thought should have happened between Avengers 1 and 2.
It is way too late. I'm not going to.
I'm not saying the movie will be bad. I'm saying there's no energy there. Like,
welcome to how I feel about S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like the Eternals, I'm like, oh snap, Eternals, what's gonna happen? I have no idea. It might be something cool and different and distinct. Oh, what about Shang-Chi? Oh snap, we're getting into like secret societies and stuff. Oh, that'll be cool. Some Illuminati.
And we're getting what Iron Fist promised us.
Yeah,
and didn't
it'll
deliver.
Be some fun stuff. Oh, it can be kind of cool. And then then it's like Black Widow. It's like, oh yeah, well she's dead, and I don't care about any other characters in here.
Right.
Outside. Taskmaster could be thrown into anything else and I would still care about him. But as far as this, and I've seen the new trailer too, and I'm still like, like
I was actually more hyped for Robert Patrick's Batman, so I know where you're feeling. I know where you're coming from.
Oh man, even in the new trailer, they're like, she lived a life, and look, she died. You know what I'm saying? She gave herself so that Hawkeye could live. I'm like, I don't like none of them. Hawkeye going to every single country where there's a black or brown person killing people by the blood by the gallons. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about that. What? I ain't seen her make no stops in Russia. I ain't seen her make no stops in Germany. You know what I'm saying? The UK. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like curious. I'm like, they've been holding back on it. So I'm like, they reserved it for a year. So I'm like, what's the deal? Why are they holding back so much on Black Widow? Right?
Yeah.
That's my only question. It feels like they're holding something back.
Yeah. I hope it's
there
good.
does seem to be a lack of confidence in their release schedule. I will say that.
Yeah,
like we got to get the people in the theaters, or else they're just going to give us all this crap if they're streaming it, because this ain't good enough to actually stream and enjoy. So get them in the theaters while we still can. Yeah.
I hope it's good. But as far as the rest of this series, I do think we're going to get deep. I think we got one more episode to get deep, and then after that, it's bullets and cool flying, and we haven't broke out the wings in a little bit, so we're gonna have to
just
break out
one
the
episode. Wings. Yeah, just one episode.
We're gonna break out the wings. Break out the wings, do some cool stuff. I would like to see. I would like to see Flavor Flav get up out of here, and hopefully we catch up to the Flag Smashers in the next episode. Like,
with
John
that
Walker,
climax, with that climax, we go need some answers, because she was like, I was gonna be a teacher, I was gonna be all this stuff, and look at all those supplies they sitting on. They ain't even distributed anything. Forget the Reappropriations Act and all that stuff. You should put on your seatbelt.
Yeah, because that commercial they had at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, I ain't falling for this propaganda.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it felt like. Helping put people back to where they were. Helping put their lives together. I'm like, where were you when our boy needed a loan?
Thank you.
Facts.
You
Facts.
know what I'm saying?
You know,
Once again, this is going to be another program that comes out. It's essentially tailored to help white people and white business owners, and then when black people apply for it, seemingly there seems to be no response. Either there's no response or you don't qualify or whatever. Meanwhile, Harvard is getting loans.
You could get a
Harvard,
loan, but
billion-dollar
you're not
Harvard is
showing.
getting loans,
Yeah,
but
no.
you
See,
can't
you
get
could
no
get a
money for your
loan.
shop.
You know, you could get a loan from the act that was there to put people back that got sucked up in the blip, but you're not showing a work history for the past 5 years. So
Because
I wasn't here. I disappeared. You know that happened, man. It's not like I disappeared for 5 years. Talking about you ain't got no work history. Of course, you know what happened, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, with that said, we have exercised the demons for now. And the bottom square, cinematic sorcerer, Solar Gray, say what up.
Hey guys, y'all can find me Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/BID_P at 3:00 Pacific time. You can also hit me up on Back in the Deck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK. Wait, I've got a thing for this. Haha. And you can also hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram. If you are a person of color or essentially, if you're not a middle-class white dude, join Deckers on the Book and, talk to us about what you do, what you like, hit us up for tips and all that stuff. And if you are a middle-class white dude, then pop on in and listen. Just know you can't take over the place. And, but yeah, you can hit us up and, we're totally happy to do it. Proceeds from our Patreon goes to building nerd clubs in community centers and in schools and disenfranchised areas like Compton, Watts, various parts of Austin, various parts of Nevada. So yeah, that's what we do.
What up? And over here, this man. You know what? There's so much that can be said, but I'm not even gonna go there right now. I'm just gonna say humbly, the name Clement Bryant.
Thanks for not lying to the people. No, I'm just kidding. I want to shout out Aziz Bilal. He came up with a really dope theory about Thunderbolt Ross. If you guys he says, I just want to say this and then I'll sign off. He says, other than Ross, do y'all think the Power Broker could be Dr. Faustus, Mr. Negative, Norman Osborn, Arnim Zola, William Burnside, or Doom? We know that General Thunderbolt Ross will be in Black Widow, and the prevailing theory online is that he's there to recruit Taskmaster and Yelena to his team of Thunderbolts. Norman might have a reason for wanting that super soldier serum, but make a tainted sample of what might be leads him to becoming the Green Goblin and make him power enough to take on that teenager who was bitten by one of his spiders.
There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack.
I will say this. It ain't Victor.
It's not Doom.
The MCU is not ready for Victor.
It's not Zola and it's not Doom. Doom is not going to hide his name.
Absolutely not.
Doom is not going to hide his name.
Yeah,
I wonder if he'll be the leader. I'm just gonna say that. But anyways, at Clement Bryant, Twitter, Instagram, hit me up. Talk to y'all soon.
Man. Doom. Oh man.
Doom deserves an episode all his own.
Yeah, I'll quote a little bit of Doom if I can. Vivon, the traveling vaudeville villain, who don't give a flying, who ain't not feeling him. Watch what you dealing him. Ace King Death Card. Strong arm the man. Pardon the left god. Rest in peace to MF Doom. But anyway.
I saw what you did there.
Doom. I don't see him hiding his. No. I would not be surprised if, well, I guess it's a little too late now, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave us little breadcrumbs about people talking about someone during the Flag Smasher time, during the 5-year time, someone galvanizing power and land grabbing in Eastern Europe. Then I'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know. He rules with a slow chrome hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? I'm right there. I'm right
I'd
there.
be like, okay, I see where we're going. But with that said,
you know, I'm gonna say a Disney Plus show is beneath the dignity of Doom.
Doom is beneath you.
Doom deserves his own duology, if not trilogy.
He'd be like, I'd advise you not to repeat that error. Like,
seriously.
But yeah, anyway.
Top 5,
NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Thumbs down if you don't. But you hear that thumbs down, I'm going to send John Walker after you, all right? That's all I'm going to say. You're going to show up with an out-of-work comedian, all right? And then if you spit in his face, you better hope everybody get him out because he probably going to look like he about to kill you.
Actually, I did get a notice from YouTube where a person can't push the thumbs down unless they subscribe and hit the bell. So if you're going, if you're going to thumbs down, you may as well subscribe and hit that bell and then thumbs down. They got to leave a super chat if they're going to say something negative. That's just the new policy.
So
hey, I'm trying to help you out, man.
Listen, Spotify for that music. We're leaving you with some jams. Do not sleep. So from us to you, we're saying thank you for watching, as always, and peace. We'll see y'all at 7 p.m. PST if you want to talk some sports, because Kevin Durant been tripping, Michael Rappaport been tripping, and Draymond Green been tripping. But and
there's a new Space Jam.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Space Jam. Give him a woo. Say woo for you. We out, y'all. Peace. Oh, man.
I'm the man, yes, sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from